All right, Tom, go ahead.
Klaus and Marcelo are back out there, so they're good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
Cedric, though, wasn't out there.
Cedric wasn't. Cedric has some muscle fatigue right now, so we just want to be very cautious with him. Hopefully it's a quick turnaround, but we felt like if we push him right now, for the rest of the week it could turn into something that we don't want it to be. So just resting him right now. It'll be more like a day-to-day assessment with him.
Yeah. Nashville got some very dangerous offensive weapons. How do you approach these guys?
Yeah, I think when you talk about it, I look at it for two ways as a coach. I look at it, collectively, what I can help the group with, but then also individually. One of the biggest ones we've talked about is how much duel rate we have to win in this game, just in the 1v1 moments with every player on the field. So we think if we have a good high individual duel rate, we can be successful. One of my jobs is to make sure the guys remain compact in the structure, limit the space on these types of players to hurt us. So if we can get the collective compactness right and these guys come out and win their duels, hopefully it'll help us this weekend.
We're talking about this in one way or another, but how close are you guys to having a complete game, about getting the offense and the defense together for 90 minutes? Because you've shown you could have very good halves, but still that 90 minutes seems elusive.
We're getting closer every week. These guys are getting fitter, they're getting sharper. So I think we're hopefully very close to it. Hopefully it's this Saturday. But yeah, we know we've put together good spells in games, whether that's a time spell, like a 45-minute, 60-minute, or we've been really good on one side of the ball, maybe not both. And that's a collective, right? If I say we're good on the offensive side, I don't just mean Klaus and the forwards. I mean, Roman, Timo, the defenders. Collectively, we're good on one side of the ball. So the balance right now is the most important thing for this group. We want to put an entertaining, attacking style of soccer out there for the fans and to win games. But sometimes you have to have a mindset of how do you respond defensively as well, quickly. So that balance, I think, is what we are trying to figure out right now. We're getting closer every week to it.
Good, Justin and Tom.
Coach, after the Nashville game, talked a lot about both groups and especially how the second group responded. Talked about wanting to carry that into this week. Have you felt like that competitiveness, that competition has carried into this week of training?
Yeah, it's been a really good week. We hit some good numbers this week in training early in the week, some physical numbers that I think was the highest of the season so far, and how their output and how hard they've worked. So we had a nice relaxing day today, just some individual sharpness work in their positions. But ever since the Minnesota game, even going back to our last MLS game, we had two good performances for many minutes at times and periods. Now it's putting it all together against Nashville. But since those games and the training every single day, I've been happy with where this group is trending right now.
And then, of course, news off the field, Joakim Nielsen, not on the team, but he had a lot of impact on the locker room and on the players from the get-go. How has the locker room kind of been dealing with that and, of course, not seeing him on the day-to-day anymore?
Yeah, first of all, for Joakim, we want to thank him for everything he's done for this club. He put everything into it, even though he had a difficult time with the injuries and what happened in his career. But he showed up every day and he was a professional and he tried to find ways to help these guys even if he wasn't involved. So we thank him first and foremost. These guys have been really supportive of him and had a little bit of sympathy with his situation as well. So again, it's always a tough one when you lose a player that's so connected to the locker room. But unfortunately, that's just some of the brutalness of professional sports.
Tom.
Take you back to a little bit. When you first came to the United States, could it have been in your game plan to at some point be coaching against a Premier League team at a sold-out stadium?
Yeah, to coach in an MLS organization, yes. It was a goal of mine very early when I started my coaching journey. You never anticipate whether you're going to play a Premier League team just because of the landscape of each country and how they play. So it was a nice extra surprise once I found Aston Villa on the schedule and such a qualified coach like Unai Emery. So it was a great accomplishment for myself. But yeah, I've always felt confident that one day I'd be sitting in this chair leading such a fantastic group of players. So I never overlook that every day. I know I've been in this job probably 8-9 weeks now. Every day I show up as excited as day one for me in trying to get this team into the place it needs to be at.
And what do you think the individual players will take away from an experience like that playing a team at literally the highest level in the world.
Hopefully they all took something away from it. I mean, again, it's one of those that had such a fantastic run in the Champions League last year. They compete in the Premier League, which is such a strong league every single year. So, the first goal is an example, right? We're trying to be brave. We're trying to play out the back. We had a turnover, and the next thing we know, we blink and it's in the back of our net. So how they use their moments, how they run an open space, how that first pass was played forward at the perfect, weight of the ball, all those little details. I'm sure a lot of these guys picked up something from that game.
We'll close things off with Tom.
On Joachim, could he have been able to play this year, or was his injury such that he probably wasn't going to play again?
Yeah, that was, the latter. So again, it was a decision that I think that himself and the club made, and for all parties, just for the health of him. And I always think about it for these athletes as well when they are going through so much pain as an injury. They need to be thinking about fatherhood and how they're going to be in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So I think it was the right decision for both parties.
I think you wouldn't have been around, but I think it goes back to an injury like in the last preseason game. I think it was when you wouldn't have been around for that.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that. I know it's ever since I've stepped into this role, it's just been a not a constant ongoing injury with him, but he's never been available since I've stepped into this chair.
Yeah, the injury report is going to be the smallest it's been all year now. Really, it's just Michael Wenzel.
Yes.
It's a little late for it, but you got to feel good about finally getting that, shaped up.
Yeah, I feel great. I've said this a few times. It's a part of the job that I dislike the most, which is letting my players down when they're not selected for either the 20-man roster, or then you even think about the starting 11, right? You're going to always disappoint players, and I hate that because I care about them so much. But every coach in the world wants that problem. They want to have a healthy, strong roster where their most difficult decision is who to select. So I'm more happy to be in this position than where I was 8 weeks ago when we had to kind of more just scramble, our roster together. So this is a good place to be at right now.
Cool. Christian, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Tom, go ahead.
What did you take from the Aston Villa game? Did you learn any? Had you ever played a Premier League team?
Yeah,
before?
I played a couple of teams. But it's always fun to play against such a team with that high-level players. I mean, I played with Daniel Marlin together at PSV, so I met him again. Yeah, it's different, as Chris said, like these teams, when you make a mistake, they directly go for the goal and they score. They need like maybe 1.5 chance to score one goal. That's the huge difference in these teams. You see their confidence. You see everything, how they play, how they behave on the pitch. So I think a lot of players can learn from that.
It's pretty late in the season to salvage a playoff spot. But as guys get healthy, as this roster gets back to its full strength, is there a feeling within the team could show how good we could have been if it hadn't been for everything that happened this year?
I mean, I'm always an optimistic guy, so we have 10 games left. There's still a potential chance to reach that 9th or 8th place, so that's my goal for this season. Maybe it's a little bit higher, this goal, but for me, it's in my mind. We wanna have these 10 games. We wanna have that as much points as we can get. That's the thing, and yeah, it's always good to have a healthy group to get players back. I mean, it was a hell of a ride this season with a lot of injuries, so I think it's always good to have these guys back in the team, back on the pitch, and we're trying to build on something special, and we want to be a team who bounced back in the last 10 games.
Justin?
So, we talked about the injuries earlier, but for you over the past couple months, just having like such consistent playing time, does it feel like you're kind of finding the groove of your game again, just having so much playing time?
I mean, I came here, didn't play for 1 year, so I knew what will be the situation, and I always knew and I always have my self-confidence to see what I'm capable of, and for me as a player, it's always important to get rhythm. That's what I always said. That's why I took also the chance in the first half of the season to play with the second team to get that rhythm back. For every player, it's important to get minutes for me as well after that period. So I'm happy to help the team. I'm happy to have a lot of minutes, and trying to get back to my best shape.
And in the recent months too, like Falu coming in, Yaziel Orozco being called up. You have some younger center backs in the mix now. Do you feel like your experience? Do you feel like you're kind of rubbing off on them a little bit as well?
You call me
Have the
old? You
opportunity
call
to?
me old or what?
No. Just that you've seen some things.
I mean, I remember like when I was 20, 21. It's always good to have a experienced guy next to him. I was playing with on my first couple of games with Toni Rüdiger, so I learned a lot of him. I trying to help them, give them advices, trying to lead them, and also take like the fear away to make mistakes, because all of players will make mistakes on the pitch, and it's most important that you trust in yourself. And whenever a mistake happen, you go forward, and that's what I'm telling these guys. That's what the older guys told me in Germany, to go forward, to help them. I'm always there to talk to them, and I'm happy to help people, and I'm happy to help younger players, because I had the chance to get help from a lot of players in my career.
Thank you.
Tom.
What do you do, or are you able to clear your head from all of this that's going on, to step away and just say, okay, I'm going to forget about this for a minute, see if I can clear my head? Do you ever do that? And are there places in St. Louis that you have been able to go to do that?
I mean, in the first part of my career, I was not able to do that. I'm always thinking about soccer. Since my sickness, it's different. I have now the ability to switch off when I'm home. I have different places where I want to go. I go always with some teammates, or often with Cello. We drink some coffee, going to his house. He has a pool, actually, that's why we go there. In this summer period, it's nice. But we're sitting together, switching off, talking about different things, and that's important for every player. It's important for me. I'm living in Kirkwood, so I have nice different streets where I can go. I'm happy home. I have a dog, so I have a lot of things to do next to the pitch, so I'm switching off. It's important.
Nashville's got two of the best offensive guys in the league, in Mukhtar and Suraj. What's the challenge they present?
Man, I'm happy to see Hani back, because I played like 12 years ago against him in the final of the, it was under 17, I think. Oh. Yeah, final. We lost 2-1 against him. So now we're friends. We know each other. So I'm happy to see him back. I mean, he's an outstanding player. He scores a lot. He making a lot of assists. I mean, the striker's also a very good player. So I have the feeling every MLS team has a good offensive player. So we need to be sharp. We need to take care of them, and that's our job. But I'm always saying, we as a team, we are attacking together and we're defending together. So whenever we are attacking, we should be aware of these guys, because they're really dangerous. But we wanna look at our game. We wanna bring our game on the pitch. That's the most important thing. And we had an analyze today, so we need to focus on our game. If we have 90 minutes, our game, which we didn't have for the whole season, then I think we're capable to win this game.
Are there any other guys on this team that were on that U17?
Oh, it's Hani.
All right. Timo, thank you.
Welcome.
What?
That's mine.
No, it's not.
Oh, it looks